Novo lit that shit bang.
Welcome back, everybody, to Crows of Judgment. And before we begin, I have to do something very important. All right, now we're ready, but just remember, you got to like and subscribe to the channel. So, why is everybody hating on Storyfire? For those of you who are unaware, Storyfire is an alternative platform to YouTube and Twitter. There's a lot of content creators who have moved over to Storyfire. It's something that I've heard about. I've kind of been interested in it. And given the recent controversy, I decided to make an account. Right? I applied to upload videos. Hopefully they accept my submission so that I can try. Because it'd be nice to be able to diversify our platform. But as you can see here, I have an account. It's got 2 subscribers on it, and I'm pretty sure one of those is Aura. So, oh boy. Well, Storyfire was set to shut down, to my understanding, on February 1st. Now, February 1st rolls around, and instead, we get this upload from McJuggernuggets, the creator of Storyfire, basically saying Storyfire has been saved. Now, this took a lot of people by surprise and shock, because many people on Storyfire had basically done videos saying, this is a great platform. It's so sad to see it go. It's so sad to see a positive alternative to YouTube go away. And then this happened. Now, typically, that would be good news. Actually, the first responses I saw from people were originally, great, Storyfire is being saved. This is awesome, right? But, as most people are aware, it sounds a little too good to be true, right? We're talking about the day it's supposed to shut down. All of a sudden, Storyfire has found the money to stay open. And it reeks of a publicity stunt. And as much as people love the Storyfire platform and are happy to see it continue on, a lot of people don't like being lied to. And that's led to a lot of really negative comments. And as you can see, this is not like the worst I've ever seen a video, but you can definitely see that, 5K likes, 2.3K dislikes, it's definitely getting some heat. And I was going through like the top comments here, Blackscape, Dragon Ball YouTuber. This got fake cheesy reality TV written all over it. This feels wrong on so many levels. I don't even know where to begin. I'm quitting YouTube. Doesn't quit YouTube. Storyfire is shutting down. Storyfire doesn't shut down. The circle of life. Honestly, dude, you shouldn't have done this to fake all of this. A lot of people on that app deleted their content without backing it up because they thought it wasn't good enough. But now to realize this is all a stunt, come on, man. Yeah, false Storyfire has been shut down. Jesse just replaced it with Story Liar. Now, I want to be clear here. I find it very suspicious. I find it very suspect. I want to be as fair-minded as I can here, right? Because on the one hand, I acknowledge that it looks completely suspicious. I acknowledge that this does not smell right. It comes across as extremely cheesy. Oh my gosh, the day was going to shut down. We just got the money. It's saved. And then, you roll credits, right? After the happy ending moment of the movie. But on the other hand, I gotta say, it comes across as really stupid to me to do something like that because, as this one comment said, a lot of people deleted their content off of Storyfire. Now, I honestly don't know why you would delete the content if Storyfire is going to get shut down anyways, but yeah, this is... I can actually see why you would do this. Storyfire is losing you money. There's been talks of it shutting down in the past before, and maybe in the past, that got you a large boost when it stuck around. And look, honestly, when I saw Storyfire going down and then coming back, I was like, yeah, maybe we should go support the platform. Maybe we should try to move onto that platform too. And we're going to try and see how it works out. But I can see why, making this into a spectacle would be beneficial, right? Because now you've renewed interest. Everyone's talking about Storyfire, and there's that famous saying, no publicity is bad publicity. Or bad publicity is good publicity. It's one of those, right? But anything you can do to get people talking about your platform is going to be positive. Now, there was a response uploaded by McJuggernuggets, I'm just going to read through it really quick and then address some of the things being said on Twitter by a couple people. So this was by McJuggernuggets. I'm not surprised by everyone's skepticism about the Storyfire shutdown, knowing that 99% of McJuggernuggets' channel is fictional drama layered into pseudo-reality vlogs. However, this shit was very real. I mean, yeah, that would make me kind of curious. Boy Who Cried Wolf playing itself out. The logic makes zero sense. If I wanted to market Storyfire, I would have my dad break an Xbox or give somebody a car, part 1 on YouTube and part 2 on Storyfire. This new creator joined, I'd announce big raise and inspire confidence. Instead, I candidly opened up about my $3 million loss to help you. Okay, I gotta stop right there. First off, this is actually a great way of generating publicity for your platform. Everybody is talking about Storyfire. I never talk about Storyfire. I'm doing a video on Storyfire. I'm making an account on Storyfire. Everyone's talking about it, positive, negative. You know, the content creators who are on Storyfire are all talking about how happy they are that the platform's staying around. I mean, Bo Blacks is supposedly going to be uploading his NSFW pictures. And that was like things that people were trying to get trending on Twitter. I don't even want to go into that one. But yeah, a lot of people started talking about Storyfire. You know, it did generate a bunch of publicity. And, you know, look, I appreciate that you opened up about your loss and your business in your video. But when you do that, people are then going to be curious about your business. To say that, you know, you're doing it to help you. I'm losing millions to help you. Let's be honest. I think that the platform is generally something that you care about, right? To create an alternative platform to YouTube, pour blood, sweat, and tears into this shit, fracturing my audience for the vision. I let you know the struggles we were actually facing. Real. Leaning on a little bit thick there. Don't get me wrong, like, I appreciate that McJuggernuggets is doing this, and again, that's kind of one of the reasons why I want to try being on Storyfire as well, because it is good to have an alternative to YouTube. To my understanding, there's a lot of issues with Storyfire as there is with things like BitChute, but anything to kind of break up YouTube is a good thing to me. But to say that you're only doing this for other people, hey, you're doing it for yourself too, and there's nothing wrong with admitting that. And Storyfire does have a pretty loyal audience as well. But yeah, I kind of feel a little bit off about you going after the people that are providing you with some criticism there, and just acknowledge that it does look very fishy. I mean, you already did that, but then to say, I'm doing this for you, how dare you question me? That's kind of how it reads. In what world would taking a company shut down be a smart business tactic? People deleting their accounts, saying goodbye, and losing all faith, destroying any possible credibility and integrity makes zero sense. I don't disagree there, except for the fact that maybe Storyfire was already losing a bunch of money, and, you know, if I had to guess, right, because I don't want to be super conspiratorial, what I would think is Storyfire was legitimately going to shut down, right? And somewhere along the way, they did find the money, but McJuggernuggets just kind of realized that, you know, you've already got people making the content saying the platform's going to shut down. And so, you know, he just delayed the news, right? Turning it into a bigger spectacle than what it would have been, right? On the day it's going to shut down, that's when you come forward with it. When more than likely, I mean, if I had to guess, he probably knew about the money coming in weeks in advance. Maybe it wasn't finalized, but, you know, he let people continue on with that narrative because, yeah, the timing doesn't look very honest, you know. And don't get me wrong, it could just be a miracle, right? It could just be, that's just how it worked out, you know, 1 in a million shot. I don't necessarily believe that, right? It's possible, though. I mean, there's no evidence to show otherwise, and if there was, then McJuggernuggets should probably not you know, dig that hole so deep. But look, honestly, if that's the way that it went about, I'm kind of okay with it. I think it is kind of shitty that if you did know, if he did know, that it's kind of shitty to go ahead and let people have that interpretation for that long to the point where they're saying goodbye, they're being all emotional and everything. But I also know that, that would actually help out the platform a little bit more than announcing it as soon as you knew that you had the money available. But again, that's all speculation. Now, there's this really interesting thread, right? The more I think about this Storyfire situation, the less it makes sense. Jesse, a known fictional narrative writer, gets his company bailed out in the last hour, injected with investments and equity. Sure, in the last hour things happen, I get it, but this doesn't make sense. I agree with that. I really do, right? It could have happened that way, but it doesn't really make sense that it happened right in the last hour. Why would his partner, Brian Spitz, inject money and equity and investors into the table right after he had been slandered? Literally, McJuggernuggets made an entire video about his partner stole money from Storyfire and basically hogged equity, killing the company. I mean, I think that's kind of a fair thing to bring up. Like, this is what I mean. Like, the timing of it's just weird, right? But I think that maybe they hashed out their differences and got it working, prior to, the actual date that he had announced it. But we're supposed to believe in the Christmas moment where Jesse gets the money he needs, the equity he wants, and Brian Spitz gets what? Why would you want to work with someone who just threw you under the bus so publicly? The mysterious investor that shall not be named also sends over a high-level contract without the permission or knowledge of one of the primary investors, Jesse. Now, this stinks to high hell of a publicity stunt. Now, normally I don't care about that stuff, but when you do this song and dance about saying goodbye to Storyfire and drag it out like this only to double down that it's real, it looks really bad. I don't know, I'm opening to being wrong, but unless Jesse shows some real receipts of this being real, he loses a lot of credibility. I don't think people necessarily deserve to be let in on every detail of a platform's business, but if you're going to make videos about your business, you owe it to people to be honest. I agree with that statement. It's very suspect. Now, it could be, like this CoffeeZilla person said, it's that Christmas moment. It does happen, right? Out of kindness of somebody else's heart, they decided to invest in a failing platform as it's about to shut down because they see the benefits of it. It's absolutely possible. And, I kind of feel like that probably did occur. It's just, the timing of the announcement, the day that's supposed to be shut down, I just don't buy it. I just don't believe it. I mean, because the Storyfire was actually set to shut down on February 1st, and it remained open the entire time, right? I can understand if it shut down and like a week later it's back, but the fact that it never shut down at all tells me that things have been lined up to keep it open probably within like a month's time frame, right? That he knew within at least a month that Storyfire had the money to stay open, that it was going to be functioning. He probably worked out some sort of deal to keep it open, or maybe he really did have the money in the back pocket all along. I think it's more likely that, within about a month or so he knew and just decided that, since you already have people talking about how the platform's going to be shut down, they're making all these goodbye videos anyways, let them do that and then come out on February 1st. It's staying open, guys. We got the money. This is a beautiful moment. Get everyone talking about it. I don't think it started off as a publicity stunt. It's just I kind of feel like it became one. And because people are so passionate about Storyfire, it leads to people thinking, oh, this dude lied to us. We're being manipulated. Nobody likes that feeling. Whether or not that they like the result, nobody likes the feeling of being duped and lied to, which is kind of how it seems people are taking this news right now. Now, this is from Dior responding to that thread. I still don't buy the conspiracy that this was all bait. Why would McJuggernuggets encourage creators to repost their exclusive content off of Storyfire after fighting tooth and nail to get it on there in the first place, LMAO? I know everything is a conspiracy theory these days, but it doesn't make sense to encourage users to close their accounts, make a convenient 3-year rewind just before announcing it's getting shut down, and tell their exclusive creators to download and repost their videos elsewhere. Especially considering it's obvious there were serious funding issues, as there is no option to cash out Blaze, no way I can see to get paid for ads, and the fact that this hypothetical publicity stunt pissed people off more than brought people in, /rant. Yeah, no, okay, so I agree and I disagree here, right? It's true. Storyfire has a ton of issues when it comes to actual, funding, right? But look, I feel like Jesse was legitimately about to shut down Storyfire. He worked something out, and he just kind of swept that under the rug because he'd already told people to go off platform. He already told people to do these things. And then he was able to put something together and just decided, well, I may as well make it into that, Christmas moment and bring Storyfire back on the day it's supposed to shut down. Otherwise, I feel like Storyfire would have been offline for at least a few hours, right? But to my understanding, Storyfire was just active the entire time. So I feel like it's a mix, right? I don't think that this was all purely a publicity stunt. It's just I feel like it kind of became one as time went on, right? But it is what it is. Like, honestly, I think Storyfire is a pretty cool platform, right? I think that if it is out there, it's a good alternative to YouTube. People should check it out. People should try to see if it's something that they're interested in. And I'm excited to try it out, assuming that I'm able to actually upload on there, which would be awesome. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you think that, this was really the Christmas moment? Do you think that this was a publicity stunt through and through? Or do you think the truth is somewhere in the middle? I look forward to what you guys have to say here. All right, guys, take it easy. Bye-bye.
Let that shit bang.